Everybody hurts. That's what RAM said. Everybody cries. Everybody grieves. Even evil succubus witches. Mended light. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that all witches are evil and succubi. In fact, Agatha All Along gives us some great counterexamples of wise and noble and virtuous witches. But Agatha, she's pretty cutthroat. And we have seen her time and time again just do what serves her. But then we start to see some layers come off when all the witches on the witches' road face their first test and are confronted with their worst fears. So it had been rumored that Agatha once had a son and that she sacrificed him in exchange for, I forget the name of the book, but it's a book of spells and witchcraft that would make her exceptionally powerful. And so they talk about how evil Agatha is, that she gave up her own son. And now she's in this, facing this test, facing her worst fear. Catherine Hahn is brilliant in this. She's brilliant in everything, though. It's a brilliant bit of writing here, but also true to life. Look, I've met a very small number of inhumane, cruel people who that's just who they are. They're selfish, they're vile, and that's about it. Most of us have a deep core of humanity, of love and compassion. And a lot of times when people seem not to, it's because they've been hardened by their lives. One of the best pieces of advice I've ever heard is if you treat everybody as if they're going through a really hard time, you'll be right 80% of the time. Most people are going through something that they're not revealing to the world. They're going through something hard, something heavy. And that doesn't excuse poor behavior or hurtful behavior. It just does mean that there is a person there inside. And in Agatha's case, it's very, very deep inside, because we've seen her be cutthroat and nasty and self-serving. Now remember that Agatha is hundreds of years old. She goes back to the time of the Salem witch trials. And here's where I should say, spoiler warning, anytime I do one of these Gets Therapized, I'm covering what happens. So if you really want to watch Agatha All Along, it hasn't happened yet, go watch it on Disney+. But Agatha has had a romantic relationship with Death, who is played by Aubrey Plaza. But she's been impregnated presumably by a man, and she is alone in the woods giving birth when Death, her ex-lover, comes to claim the child.
No.
Hates to do it, it's just her job. This is who she is and what she does. And Agatha knows what she means, what her presence means.
Cannot be.
It must be.
You do this and I will hate you forever. Please let him live. Please, my love. Please. Please. Please.
I can offer only time.
That's all any of us get.
How much time?
How much time? How much time, she asks. And Death, like Kaiser Sose, is gone. And that's really all any of us want, is time. Right? One of the themes of Agatha All Along is that death comes for us all. Right? In this case, Death looks like Aubrey Plaza, but is every character, like, you have your time when it's going to happen. Death comes for us all. She says, I just want more time. And Death, out of love for Agatha, gives her that time with a son named Nicholas. And I'm reminded, honestly, I went on safari a couple of years ago, and I've since become very fascinated by lion prides and just how they work. What's amazing about lions, particularly your lionesses, your mothers, is that they're so loving and nurturing and affectionate with their cubs, but so brutal and efficient as hunters. Really just what they have to do to get food is cruel. The deaths are hard to watch. But Agatha is a lot like a lioness. because she adores Nicholas even as she kills other witches in order to keep her son alive. You know, there's no backstory that redeems her. There's no backstory that shows, oh, we were wrong about her all along. She is cutthroat, and she is self-centered, and she is vicious, but she's also very loving with her child.
Winding through the woods, where all that's wrong is right,
and all that's bad is good,
through many miles of tricks and trials.
The Witch's Road song they create together.
High
and low,
tame your
Again,
ears.
like a lioness with her cub, she's very sweet.
The time has come to go down, down, down the road, down the winding road.
Parenthood is funny because for some people it brings up their harshness and impatience, and for others it softens them. And we see in Agatha's case, definitely softens her.
Me, my friend, to glory at the end.
Like a lot of beings on our planet, we are social. We are social creatures. We're all about our bonds. We're all about our tribes. We're all about our families. And part of becoming civilized is showing that same love that we have for our families to others. It's growing outward and not just being tribal and not just looking out for ourselves. And yet we cannot escape what we are at our core, which is we're all looking for where we belong. And for Agatha, she finally has belonging here with Nicholas. Maybe some of you have felt that. Maybe there's been a person in your life or people who provided that. What happens when you lose that? How can you come back? Camping out with her son, sleeping by the fire. Here's death. You know, there's a lot of media that features the personification of death. Sometimes death is cruel, sometimes death is apathetic, sometimes death is neutral, sometimes death regrets what death has to do. I love, though, this point back. I don't think he knows that he's saying goodbye to his mom. Maybe he does. But go back and kiss her. Kiss her goodbye. Because in this iteration, death has a sense of humanity and compassion. I have to do what I have to do. This is the way things work. Death, decay, dissolving, creation, growth. It's this endless cycle and this endless balance. And that's what death is here to do, her job. But that doesn't mean she doesn't value life. And I love that she has Nicholas go back and kiss his mother. And he goes with her because he's had his time. Now we're going to see how Agatha handles this, and then we're going to talk about what you can do if you lose somebody who gave you a sense of belonging, a sense of purpose, and that helped you to be centered. Gosh, the cinematography, look at the lighting on that. I know it's popular to say Marvel stinks since Endgame, and I would say otherwise. I'd say it's inconsistent since Endgame, but there's some great stuff. And I think Agatha All Along is one of the great things they've made.
Nikki. Nikki.
So his body's still there. And what she says is, I want more time, which I think is one of the most relatable things. I want more time.
I have always known this road is cruel and wild. I buried my own heart
here with you, my child. If one be gone, we carry on. But every mile I go, with every bend, beyond the end, our mother loves you so.
Okay, I'm not a filmmaker. I mean, I have some background. I've directed a few things back before I became a therapist, but I consume a lot. I consume a lot of TV, a lot of movies. What's so brilliant about this moment from a filmmaking perspective is how it just holds. It doesn't cut away. It doesn't shorten it. It lets her sing the whole song and really lets you marinate in her pain. There's no orchestral score. There's just the empty void of the forest and how alone and isolated she feels right now. Now, if you've watched the series, what does Agatha do with this? Because Agatha was somebody who was hard and tough and could be cold, but she wanted a son, and her son melted her heart and brought out her warmth, brought out her affection, her nurture, her kindness, and now he's gone. Agatha makes the very human mistake that a lot of us make, which is when we lose that person who is a light or a place of belonging. We decide that there will be no other. We decide that that's it for me. I'm going to grow more cold, more distant, more detached, and in some cases even more cruel. Part of what I do in therapy and part of what we do at Mended Light, and a lot of others do as well, is people who have experienced a loss. Sometimes they're afraid to love and connect because they don't want to experience that pain again. But without love, without connection, you're just stuck in pain. Your life's pain anyways. How do you reconnect? How do you heal? How do you find a way to celebrate the life? Because some people, their losses make them more compassionate, more tuned in to the suffering of others, more prone to reach out, more prone to help, to show understanding and empathy and compassion. And this is the story of Agatha All Along. By the end of the series, she's still kind of a nasty witch, but her experiences with different witches who approach life with greater integrity and greater selflessness and greater heroism move the needle ever so slightly. We don't do a full 180 on the character. She's still Agatha, but just enough to this connection was meaningful. The bonds that I have are meaningful. And maybe after hundreds of years, I can let somebody else into my heart. How do we grieve? Well, in my opinion, Agatha went the wrong way. And what she does in the series, she went the wrong way for hundreds of years. And what she did in the series is the way we want to go, which is hope, which is healing, which is celebrating, mourning, grieving, hurting, and connecting. If you've experienced a loss, allow yourself to feel it, but let others be there for you. Now, on that subject, I've got a video I want to invite you to watch. It called "It Takes a Community to Heal from Trauma," which is going to pop up on the screen, where I dive deeper into these themes and what they look like in real life and how to actually apply them. What did you think of Agatha All Along and Agatha's journey from grief until her place today? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, folks, keep shining. We need your light.